What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda news roundup. Some breaking news coming out about a possible documentary or fly in the wall series that I'm very excited to be talking about during the video. We're also going to be looking at transfers linked to and from the club, a few VAR decisions, and a little bit on the referee selection for next Wednesday's game against Chelsea. As always, though, we want you guys to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, but most importantly, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. So look, let's start off with this little bit of breaking news that kind of came out earlier on. So it's from Dave Powell, and apparently Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group are interested and are in talks about a fly-on-the-wall documentary at Anfield. Now, I've got to say, this has me very, very excited. Paul Gorse jokingly has put it down as Being Liverpool Part 2 question mark. And look, let's hope it's not as cheesy and cringy as that particular series was. But I have to say, the idea of getting to see behind the scenes at Liverpool, I find fascinating. Now, my first thought process is probably the same one as yourselves. Is this something that Jurgen would be happy about? Well, you'd have to think that the FSG boffins have ran this past Jurgen and he'd be fine with it, but oh, that excites me, lads. The idea of getting to see the intricacies or the behind the scenes working, maybe some of the speeches the Klopp gives throughout the season, or the insights from Pep Linders. But most importantly, I would really love to see the halftime situation, because Jurgen Klopp and Pep Linders and Kravitz have made some brilliant tactical tweaks during halftime. So I'd love to see maybe the inside of the video analysis that they do and things like that. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section if it's something that interests you. But I think this would be incredibly popular with Liverpool fans right around the world. So yeah, fingers crossed they get the green light, because I think it's a fantastic idea. So some more information. Pep Linders in his press conference today gave out some positive updates around the injuries that Liverpool Football Club currently face. So nothing new really on Bajcetic, Thiago, of course, and Joel Matip. But he did give updates on 4 of our players who are close to getting back to first team action. So let's start off with Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones had I guess, a feeling in his hamstring, and it was a precaution more than anything that he came off. He's been able to make himself available for the game coming up tomorrow and a game of the weekend, so that's good news on Curtis Jones. I was certainly expecting him to be out for a little time at the very best, but looks like it's just precautionary, which is great. With regard to Dominic Szoboszlai and Trent Alexander-Arnold, for Dominic Szoboszlai, tomorrow may come a little bit too soon, Pep Linder said, but he will absolutely be available for selection for the game coming up against Norwich in the FA Cup. Trent Alexander-Arnold, exact same thing. They've mentioned him as being a contender to be in the squad for the game at the weekend, which is, again, ahead of schedule and brilliant news. Mohamed Salah's situation, the Egyptian national team doctor has had a little bit to say on that, but ultimately, look, nothing has really changed there with regards to the length of time for Mo's injury. And then the other positive update was about Andy Robertson. So it has been reported by James Pearce, I think it was James Pearce, apologies if I'm wrong, but it has been reported that he has been given the go-ahead or has been cleared to resume full contact training. So again, that looks like he's very close to getting back to availability for selection. So that is great news ahead of what is going to be a really pivotal time in our season over the next month or so. Now, with every bit of good news, of course, there's usually a little bit of bad news somewhere. And the bad news is that, in my opinion, the PGMOL are basically playing a game of chicken with us Liverpool fans at the minute, because in their infinite wisdom, who have they decided to appoint referee for the big game coming up against Chelsea on the 31st of January? Yeah, I don't even need to say it, do I? You already know. It's Paul Tierney. Of course it's Paul Tierney, because this situation to me really feels like, remember when Mourinho was at United and it was very clear he was going to get the boot eventually, and he started to say stuff that was almost daring the United board to sack him. That's kind of how I feel right now as a Liverpool fan, that Howard Webb, the PGMOL, aren't satisfied that somehow Tierney VAR didn't get to shaft us enough against Bournemouth. Because let's be honest, 2 decisions there, we should have gotten both of them, got none of them, weren't even reviewed. So I don't feel very comfortable going into this game knowing that Tierney's going to be in charge. The only comfort I take from it is that the assistant VAR is Sian Messi-Ellis, and I actually rate her as a referee, and I actually rate her opinions. So maybe she can add some insight, but she's only the assistant VAR. The top job in VAR, well, that's the reverse of what we had this week, actually. The referee who was in charge of our game, Andy Madley, is going to be the VAR official for the game. So why, Howard? Why? It's like they're giving us ways to, again, just make us feel like are we losing the plot? Are we insane? We've seen the stats around Tierney games. Surely if we know them and they've been presented to the world, surely the PGMOL will think, well, we can't be seen to have any, favouritisms here. But it's like they're doubling down on Tierney and just saying, here, have more of Paul Tierney. Even when the stats show that we are massively negatively impacted when Tierney officiates a game. It's crazy. But look, anyway, we move on. Transfer targets. So the only real ones today have been around Coop Miners again from Atalanta. Stories coming out of Italy to say that Liverpool and some other Premier League clubs are interested. 25-year-old midfielder. I don't know if it's serious or not. And I actually don't even know if we need somebody in Tane Coop Miner's position. So keep an eye on it. I doubt it would be happening in this window. I'd say it would far more likely be something for the summer if there's any truth to it. And then more reports coming out of Portugal that Liverpool are interested, of course, not only in Gonçalo Inácio, but they've also put in Ousmane Diamande's name there. Both of those guys combined have release clauses about 140 million euro or about 120 million pound. So one of them 80 million euro, one of them 60 million euro. Again, I would ask the question, do we need to be spending that much money? If we do, I don't know which one of them is better, which one of them is the better fit. I truly don't know. I can't sit here and say I watched enough of Sporting to know the answer to that question. Personally, I thought the Itakura link made a lot more sense if you look at the fact that we've got Sepp van den Berg still at Mainz and a couple of other young centre-backs coming through. Maybe bringing in somebody of more experience mould like Itakura who could fill that void of experience left by Joel Matip. That makes a lot of sense to me. And again, you wouldn't have to invest a huge amount of money. In the summer, it's believed that he has a buyout clause in his deal of about, I think, 12 or 13 million pounds. So, yeah, these are the things that I'm trying to figure out right now. And all in all, this has just been a very quiet transfer window, not just for Liverpool, but right across the Premier League and I guess indeed Europe. So let's wait and see what happens over the last week or so. I don't really expect too many more incomings and outgoings at Liverpool other than maybe smaller deals like the Mateusz Muzialowski one that we spoke about yesterday. He'd been linked with a move to Leeds and a hook-up with Daniel Farke there. So if that comes, that'll be a good move for him. And I think Leeds would get a player who, with the right coaching, with the right environment, could push on. And for whatever reason, it hasn't really seemed to have been a roaring success at Liverpool. So that's pretty much it, my friends. Before I let you guys go, just a couple of things. If you guys would be so kind, do check out the Anfield Agenda Clips channel, which we have relaunched over the past couple of weeks or so. We're putting on shorter form content there, some interesting shorts, some edited clips with some fun interactions. And also, don't forget as well, we are in Boston on March the 22nd at the House of Blues Foundation Room, right across from Fenway Park in Boston. If you would like to come and see us, there is a link in the description of this video where you can get your tickets on Ticketmaster. 22nd of March, Anfield Agenda over in Boston. We'd love to see you there. And if you can't make it, sure, hopefully we catch you at another venue at some time in the future. But look, my friends, I'm going to go prepare for the watch-along that we're going to do tonight on top of the league for Chelsea-Middlesbrough. The winner of that will await the winner of Liverpool and Fulham. Of course, we take a 1-goal lead into the second leg of that game. And I will be back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for a watch-along of it where we'll hopefully see Liverpool book their place in the Carabao Cup final. Until then, have a wonderful evening and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.